Hello and welcome to Motorcycle Live 2019. This show just keeps on getting bigger and better. Greg, what are you looking forward to?
Well, one thing's ticked off the list already, and that was seeing you, James. I'm always looking forward to seeing Mr. Hayden, of course, but I've got a big list of people I want to buy Christmas presents for, so hopefully for 2020 I can find something here. What do you reckon?
They get a Christmas present from here, they'll be doing all right. Should we go and have a look then?
Well, good luck with it. Yeah, I've got my credit card at the ready, by the way.
I'm at KTM and this is the new 890 Duke R. Simon, tell us a little bit about it.
So this is an evolution of the 790 Duke, and as the 890 moniker suggests, it's bigger. So we've bored, stroked, and upped the compression ratio. So we're now looking at a bike that's pumping out 120 brake horsepower. Nice.
Yeah.
But we've looked at everything else on the bike as well. So we've looked at the suspension, front, rear now is fully adjustable. On the brake calipers, we've switched to a Bmw style system, increased the disc size and new master cylinder as well.
Yep.
I think it looks absolutely pimping as well. Really, really nice looks, aggressive looks, and we've changed the elements of geometry of the bike as well. So foot pegs are up, the bars are lower, just to give that really aggressive feel to the bike.
Yeah, and you can really see that in the styling as well, and a nice Acaproving exhaust. So, yeah, great to see. I'm sure you did very well with it. Simon,
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
This is the new F900R BMW, and what a look at this is as well. This new look headlamp for 2020 comes as standard LED front and rear. But one of the things I'm quite liking actually is that with part of the Headlight Pro Pack, you can get additional lights on the right and the left there. So when you bank into a corner, it illuminates the road, a bit like a car when you turn the wheel and an additional light comes on. Perfect bike as well, Luke, for if you've just passed your test. Nice way to start.
Absolutely. So you'd look at this bike and you think, wow, this is a proper performance naked. It's got a new 50cc larger engine, so now just under 900cc. Makes 105 horsepower. So this is a proper motorcycle. But yeah, as you say, it's actually applicable now for A2 license users. So if you've just passed your test and got an A2 license, you can jump on the A2 version of this very bike. So it's an awesome looking update to the F800R. It's a fantastic bike. It comes with a raft of electronics, this full new TFT color display. It's just packed to the brim with great riding equipment. With ride-by-wires, you get different modes, and it's very upgradable as well. So this is the standard model, but if you want to get an SE model, it comes with the adaptive cornering lights that you were talking about at the front there.
Yeah.
You can get Gear Shift Assist Pro so that it automatically changes gear for you without having to use the clutch. You get different riding modes with Dynamic Pro and all these kind of upgrades, which just make this a really exciting package to ride.
So actually, if you have just passed your test, then it almost does a lot of the work for you, just to take away a few of those worries, I suppose.
Kind of, yeah, and it just, a lot of people, I think, with technology sometimes, can sort of be stuck in the past with it, but ultimately the technology that we use in our bikes is to make riding more fun. It's so that you can forget about certain things and enjoy all the best bits of riding, and that's what we try and do with bikes like this, where with Gear Shift Assist Pro and with the headlight and with all the different riding modes. It's you can tweak it to how you like, and ultimately it becomes, your toy personalized, and it's just a fantastic machine.
And a few colours available as well. This particular one, red with Hockenheim silver. It reminds me of Agostini and Reed flying through the forest of Hockenheim back in the day. Lovely looking bike.
Well, I've come to the Shoei stand. Shoei are a company that really make helmets for every type of discipline. We've got motocross, enduro, road racing, circuit racing, touring. You name it, they make it for it. Actually, one of the nice touches on the stand here is this helmet, and this sort of celebrates all their road racers. John McGuinness, Rutter, Peter Hickman, Harrison, and the late Daley Matheson as well. So a really nice touch there for all involved. But if you have a little look around now, I mean, you can see with this show, we've got some of their road race helmets here. Very, very cool looking, loads of different designs. And if we move this way, we can see they've got a service centre in the middle here, so people could come, get the helmets changed, visors changed, different stuff. And you can see the motocross helmets, you've got dual purpose touring helmets. It really is a company that do it for everyone, and a real quality company at that.
Well, a spot of customer service now down here at R&G, and of course it's a name we know well from the British Superbike Championship with the Rookies Trophy and the Ducati Shield, sponsors of many of the teams. But Alan, as we can see behind us, it's about a lot more than just racing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. The racing is the icing on the cake for us.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to get out there, have some fun, get some product feedback from the teams, which is important, but to put the brand out there and get people aware of it. But it is about the end user. That's where we started, from making crash bungs into now doing tail tidies and radiator guards, now distributing lots of other third-party brands such as Barkbusters, WD-40, Scorpion exhaust. So we're really trying to put together a complete package for the road rider.
And a big year, of course, 20-year anniversary for R&G this year.
Yeah, 20 years, 1999 the company started, first making a crash bung, selling at the local biking event, and we are where we are today.
Congratulations, Alan, here to the next 20 years, and plenty available, as you can see for yourself, down here at R&G.
Well, I'm on the Yamaha stand, and we're looking at the new Tracer 700. As you can see, it's been radically restyled. I love this new, much more aggressive front end with the LEDs and that real snarl to it. And with the lower seat, the high bars, you know it's going to be a real versatile machine. One of the big changes, of course, it's got fully adjustable suspension, front and rear, and that lovely cross-plane crank engine. So a really nice setup there. I'm sure it's going to be very popular. But now we're going to move over to the Tri-City 300. And this is a leaning multi-wheel setup. So this actually gets 80% more grip than a conventional setup. So a real big change there, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. One of the big things for this is this real change in urban transport. This can be driven on a car license. So I'm sure this is going to be very attractive to motorcyclists and car drivers alike. So big change there with that big comfy seat, nice screen, storage underneath. I'm sure that's going to be a popular bike. Well, that's it from the Yamaha stand. Now let's have a little look at what's happening at the rest of the show.
Well, we're behind the scenes here at the Black Horse stage in the Eurosport Entertainment Zone with Eurosport's very own Mr. James Whittam. How's it going?
Yeah, really well. I don't actually get too far away from this stage area because we're busy all day. So we've got 6 games and we have 5 slots of rider and industry celebrity interviews and riders like this.
Yeah, Leon switching from Kawasaki to Honda this year. You're with Alvaro Bautista, of course, who won all those races at the start of the season. You must be excited.
Yeah, you know, words can't describe it. You know, when Honda are coming back, they don't come back, you know, to finish second. And yeah, it's a new team, new project. Got lots of testing to figure it all out, but yeah, can't wait just to be involved in the project. For me, the ultimate aim or the end result is to win, and it's how fast we can get to that point. And I think we can hit the ground running. You know, we've got a lot of testing before Australia. Australia's one of my favourite circuits. So yeah, if we can hit the ground running, get this development going between me and Alvaro, and we're on the same path, I think we can be competitive straight away.
Obviously, you'll be commentating. You've got BSB as well, though. What are your feelings? We're a long way off, but looking to 2020.
Really happy to see Scott Redding into World Superbike. I think he's going to add something, not just on the track. I think he's going to add something in the paddock.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm really pleased to see Honda back in full force because we haven't seen the real Honda in World Superbike for a little while now, I don't think.
No, we haven't.
And like Leon says, if Honda want to do a job, they know how to win a championship and they aren't coming to finish second, and I can't wait to see how it's going to go. The bike looks brilliant.
Well, I'm coming on to the Triumph stand, and look at this. It is the new Rocket 3 Devron. I am loving that. 2.5 litre engine in a motorbike. Wow.
Absolutely, it's awesome, isn't it? Biggest production engine in the world in any production motorcycle. And the big news, the torque, 221 Newton meters, which is just awesome. 72% more than the next nearest competitor.
That is
and crikey,
incredible.
you can feel it.
I bet.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to have a crack on one of those.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the big things, though, is how much lighter it is than its predecessor, isn't it?
Not just more powerful, 40 kilos lighter.
40 kilos.
A lot of that comes out of the new aluminium frame, but also the engine, where the internals, we've worked very hard to take weight out of those, just reducing that weight and making it even more exciting to ride.
Now, that's the R, and this is the GT, a slightly more touring one, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the forward controls, foot pegs further forward, the bar set back. So all that's awesome about the R in terms of power and performance, but a more relaxed riding position.
Oh, well, that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for showing us.
Well, over here at Suzuki now, Nigel, first of all, let's get this out of the way. You, like myself, have had the great misfortune of working with James Whittam, haven't
I
you?
have indeed, yeah. I worked with James when he did the World Superbike for Suzuki in 1997.
Right.
So,
okay.
yeah, we had some good times.
Yeah, there's always good times with James Whittam. But more importantly, with respect to James, what's all this about? Because this is all original Barry Sheen parts, aren't they?
This is from the XR23, which Barry used for the match races against the Americans, the big battles that used to go on.
Yeah.
So the 500 wasn't quite quick enough, so they built Barry a special bike, the XR23, i.e. this one, which is a 650, which was obviously more horsepower and made it more competitive. to go and beat the Americans.
This is obviously in bits at the moment and the fairing's down on the ground there, but I mean, these are iconic machines, aren't they? Everyone recognises these bikes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And this one especially because it had big bulbous exhausts on it, so everybody spots it straight away. They nicknamed it the Commode because it was the big seat and everything on it.
And the big number 7 as well, of course. Thanks for that, Nigel. We'll just go across here to Martin. Now, Martin, you knew Barry particularly well, didn't you? And this, again, not a replica bike. This is an original machine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a new factory Suzuki. It was coded as an XR45, but they were just numbers. They were given allocated to each machine, which is a Costco.
Yeah. So Barry, 19 times a 500cc winner, 40 times a podium finisher, twice a world champion. And all these, if I'm not mistaken, have been in Stephanie's dining room, haven't they, since 1985? So what are they doing here now?
Down in Australia, although Barry had moved there,
Yeah.
I would think to the Australian people, a few people know, but not like in Europe.
Yeah.
At that time, there was never an Australian Grand Prix, so we never went there. Obviously, it's now with Phillip Island.
Yeah.
But back in the 70s and 80s, no Australian Grand Prix. So, although Stephanie and the bikes were there, nobody knew. A few people would know, but back in Europe, they assumed their identity of a world champion in a European world championship. Okay, we did Argentina, South Africa, never ventured down to Australia until much later.
Of course, then when Gardner was winning as well, wasn't it? But yeah, very special though to see these Barry Sheen bikes here at Motorcycle Live. These are the original bikes, and I'm sure there'll be more to follow from Australia as well.
We've come to Honda where there's a new Goldwing. Neil, tell us about it.
Yeah, brand new. First time it's been seen in the UK. This is the new Goldwing with DCT, that's the dual clutch transmission. Last year we launched the Torah as well, so they're all new from the ground up. Lighter, quicker, easier to ride. Still got reverse gear, which I know you love. So nice and easy to ride, even though it's a very big bike. And we've got 14 specialist dealers who look after the customers all around the country. And we've got this lovely stand within a stand here to show what the Goldwing Heritage is and the whole range, because we've got 4 bikes in the Goldwing range now.
Now, a Goldwing bar is probably quite an individual bar in a way, and this is giving them a real different feel, isn't it? It's a much sportier Goldwing, right?
And the great thing about the new Goldwing is that it's fantastic to ride. Whether you're new to Goldwing or you've had Goldwing before, you know, it's just a great bike to ride.
Well, it's really great to see it. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Welcome back to Motorcycle Live. Let's go and look at the rest of the show. Now, these are really cool additions to the Shoei range. These are the Neo Classic range. Now, the two on the outside, they were launched before. This one is brand new. But it really covers that sort of, the guys who are building specials and bobbers and the guys who are running that retro look, but with all the modern safety which these of course have. So you can have your open faced here with a flick up visor, so you can also wear your shades if you want to, or have it down when you're cruising. In the middle here, and again you can see that very much big visor, small little narrow chin bar, that full retro look, but again with all the modern Shoei safety features. And on the outside here, we got it more of a sort of motocrossy flat track, and again you can have it in all these different colours. There's some wicked retro stripes here. And in these days of people making real specials, making bobbers and just going for that retro look, these sort of helmets that fill in and look the part but still give you all the modern features are absolutely brilliant. I'm sure they're going to be really successful.
This is the BMW F900 XR. Now, it's not entry level, it's not top level, certainly a nice mid-range level though. 895cc, 105 horsepower. Luke, initially I'm thinking, is this not a little bit like a GS?
It is in some regards. It's comfortable, it's upright, it's one of those do-it-all machines, but ultimately the GS is built for off-road riding. This is very much a road bike, and so you can see that reflected in the tyre choice and the suspension and the way that the bike's set up. And also one of the big differences between this and the GS model is the engine. So on a large 1250 GS model, you've got the Boxer engine, which is really wide. It's quite a low slung unit, and it's got a load of character. It oscillates, it moves, it feels great beneath you. This bike, for the demographic, for the mid-range rider, is great. It's an inline twin engine. It's very smooth, it's very user-friendly, but still retains all of that excitement. And in terms of the rest of the bike, it comes with a load of advanced BMW ride electronics, so you get 2 different riding modes, you get the full colour TFT screen. It's a really comprehensive package.
And that's 2 different riding modes as standard, isn't it? There's a load more you can go for if you tick all the boxes. But I mean, for the packaging and the way it's done, I was thinking that's surely reflected in the price, but it's not.
No, so this is one of the things that with the F900R and the XR, that BMW really made a conscious effort to make sure it was competitively priced. So you look at everything that this bike comes with and the way it's designed and the build quality, and actually compare its price to some of its rivals, things like the Yamaha Tracer 900 GT. This actually comes in at £1,500 lower. It's just over £9,500. So as an all-round package, with all of the gizmos and all of the looks, it's really competitively priced.
Perfect then, Bob's your uncle. So, like Luke says, perfectly priced, nice all-round package, and it is not going to break the bank.
Well, I'm joined by Dave Thorpe, motocross legend, and absolutely brilliant to see you, Dave. Now, we're here to talk about the new Africa Twin. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm privileged. I rode the bike in Sardinia at the launch, so obviously we've got two brand new models. We've got the Africa Twin Sport, which is here, which is what we're looking at today. It's got a lot of technical features, new technical features, bigger engine, more power, a lot more accessories. We've got a brand new bike.
And can you really feel that? Has it got different torque, with the big engine?
You do. You feel the torque and the electronic suspension. Honestly, I've never ridden anything like it, so I was really impressed with that.
You really like the DCT, don't you?
I'm DCT all day long, At the Honda Adventure School, we run DCT and manual, and for me, if I have the choice, I'd always run it.
Now, tell us a bit about your Adventure School. How's that going? Because you use these, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've got all the new models coming in January, so beginning of next year, we've got full fleet, DCT Sport, DCT Standard, manuals, we've got the whole range.
Nice, and where do you go down there?
We've got some amazing trails. We've got one-day tour, two-day tours, we've got everything there for the adventure rider.
Nice, and what would be your pick then? One of these with DCT?
All day long. Yeah, it's my favourite bike.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Well, I actually haven't ridden one yet, but I can't wait. But David, thank you so much for your time. I might have to try and get down there on that school. Dave, thank you.
This is the Ninja 1000 Essex Torah here at Kawasaki, and you know it's a Torah because of the big panniers, the boxes there on either side of the back. But Dean, it looks more comfortable than, well, a sofa, I suppose.
Well, it's designed to be eating up the miles without it being too painful.
Yeah.
So, Ninja 1000 SX, 2011 we brought out the Z1000 SX, and it's been our #1 selling bike since, and also been the UK's #1 selling sports tourer. The reason for that, it isn't so much a sports tourer, it's a sports bike with touring capabilities, and that's been the crucial element of its success. This year we've changed nothing more about that. We've still highlighted its rideability of being exciting. However, we've introduced TFT Dash, that now comes with Rideology app, so you can change all of your settings on your app and you can do a bit of data logging. We've got rider modes, it's got electronic valves, so we've got cruise control, quick shifter.
What hasn't it got?
Exactly, it really is easy to say what it hasn't got compared to what it has. So the SX has been, like I said, #1 selling bike, and I don't see it changing at all. With all of these extra gadgets it's now got, there isn't much more a rider can be wanting out of a motorcycle. The good thing with it, it's fantastic two-up as well as on your own. So what we've also got is comfort seat as standard for the UK model. As you mentioned, this is a Tourer version, so it comes with the hard panniers, plenty of space for your sandwiches when you want to be going out and about. We also do performance version, which is the Acropovic exhaust system. So when you're out and about, you need a coffee shop. In our country, the weather can change at any moment.
Certainly
You
can.
can get your phone out, go through the app, change it to rider mode, wet, traction control, etc., etc. And as soon as you go to your bike, turn the key on, voila, it's done. And the traction control is one of the most advanced we have. We've got what we call the IMU unit, which is a Bosch unit. It's what ZX10 and our H2 SX range have. It's what I call the Paul Daniels box, because it's magic.
So very good.
The customers are in good stead that we have got the most advanced electronics that we have in all of our range now on our top selling motorcycle. And I must add, the price difference is minimal. It was 10,299 last year. This year, 10,999 with all of those extras.
Plus your sandwiches, obviously.
Plus your sandwich on top, yes.
You know, I'm just envisaging Paul Daniels on the bike now. Thanks for that, Dean.
Now, Nick, how does data tag work?
Right, we have our market-leading technology that's been around for a significant amount of time. It encompasses 3 key elements. The first is the stealth etching, visible with a UV light. The second are the microdots that are hidden strategically all over the bike, making it very difficult to remove. And the third is an RFID chip that's hidden within the bike itself, scannable by the police.
That's fantastic. And talking to the police, I have a policeman here. Paul, tell us, how is data tag helping you fight crime?
As a stolen vehicle examiner, there's nothing worse than finding equipment that I know is stolen and not being able to identify it and return it back to its original loser. A multi-layered approach really helps us with that.
And what you're saying, so you can then scan and you can actually prove, because of the data tag, that is stolen, and then you can prosecute.
Absolutely. It removes the element of doubt from a prosecution point of view.
Oh, Paul, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your time.
So here at the BMW stand, we're with the new look S1000 XR for 2020. Now, Luke, you could probably help me out here. Naked bikes have become quite a thing, haven't they, over the last few years? But this is essentially a naked bike, but dressed up?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the best thing about a naked bike is that they're comfortable, they're still performance orientated, but with this bike you get all of those benefits, but also with the pros of having that wind protection. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. And this is actually one of our highlight models for 2020. It's the new S1000 XR. And it's really difficult to improve on bikes like this. The previous generation was a multi-test winner.
Yeah.
So we've worked tirelessly to make sure that all the updates we make this bike better in every single way. Now, one of the main changes for this model compared to the previous generation is the diet that it's been on. So it's lost 10 kilos of weight compared to that previous generation. Now, 5 kilos of that is straight from the engine, so rotating mass.
Inertia.
That's what,
All
that's what the engineers would say, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it helps massively when you've got that weight removed from the bike, because it means that you become more agile, it becomes more dynamic, it helps the bike flick from left to right, and it makes the bike feel so much lighter. Now, the engine has also become a load-bearing unit, so previously where you'd manufacture engineering stresses into the frame and into the swing arm, we don't need to do that anymore because the engine takes that stress. So we can make the frame lighter, we can make the swing arm lighter, and the engine has also had 4th, 5th and 6th gear ratios revised so that you get better fuel consumption, you get better rideability, and you also get a bit more mid-range grunt from it. Yeah. So also, in terms of the electronics, this has got an absolute fleet of new riding electronics. You get, as standard, BMW dynamic electronic suspension adjustment, full colour TFT screen, ride-by-wire, so you get full different riding modes. It really is a level up in every single way compared to that previous generation.
Must have, I'm loving the colour as well.
It is really smart. This is ice grey, and if you want to get different colours, also optional extras.
There you go then, thanks Luke. Full of gizmos then, just as you'd expect from BMW.
Well, I'm on the CCM stand and I'm actually sat in a Spitfire. How cool. But right now, we're going to go and have a look at their Spitfires. Now, all these Spitfires have got the same chassis, same engine, same suspension, swinging arms, but that's where the similarities end. All of these have been customised by their owners, and don't they have a different feel? You've got your kind of Golf 60s cafe racer, you've got your 1980s sort of Paris-Dakar bike, you've got this one from Goblin Works, you know, really kind of another cool, different look. And then these two here were actually considered for the latest Marvel blockbusting movie. But they actually chose a third CCM. You can't see that one here. But what CCM are intending to do is, if you want that exhaust on that bike, that tank on that bike, and make sure that you can actually customise them at the factory. It doesn't get better than that for a really cool British company.
Well, we're down here, literally down here, in the Experience Adventure Zone. Jeff, thanks for joining us. Yamaha Tenere 700, and a very special component here as well.
Yeah, this is a bit of a trick bike we've set up for this. Most of the public are riding around on standard Tenere 700s, but we've built this bike for our instructor, Rowan Jones, to do some demonstration laps. And Öhlins have supported us with a prototype of a new shock absorber they're developing for the Tenere 700.
Okay, so obviously this is going to make a huge difference when it comes to riding. That I probably wouldn't feel the difference, but to a real pro, they're going to, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Öhlins are famous, obviously, with their road racing suspension, front forks and so forth. Yeah. So obviously this is another market that they're into. But yeah, it's a very high quality component, and it'll add some extra quality to the suspension movement.
Absolutely. Well, this is a great part of the show as well. The public can come and ride some of these off-road bikes, but we're going to give our knees a rest now. So thanks very much for that, Jeff.
No problem.
Now, Simon, we've seen the freeride electric bike, but this is your first competition electric bike.
Well, we're starting at the ground up with kids, basically, because that's obviously where the future is. So, as you can see, it's an electric bike, battery powered, about 70 minutes for a full charge. But it's a bike that will really grow with a child. We're saying it's from 3 to 8 years old. So, in terms of the power modes available, you can literally walk alongside it. And as soon as they get more confident, then you can up the power levels right until it's comparable with our 50cc version. So not only that, but the bike grows physically as well. There's a lowering kit, so the seat goes from 560 right up to 660 millimetres.
Do you think also it'll encourage people who have never been into a motorbike before? The fact that it's got no engine, no exhaust.
It's just literally plug, play, clean, and off you go again.
Is this the start of a whole electric off-road range?
Well, we're starting at the bottom with the youngest age group here, so the future is only going to be more encouraging.
Right, thank you, Simon. And we're going to see you back here right after this break.
Welcome back to Motorcycle Live here at the Birmingham NEC, and remember, plenty of action going on until Sunday the 24th of November, not least down here at the World of BMW. And Chris, congratulations first of all, special anniversary this year for the World of BMW.
Yeah, 20 years we've been running now, and World of BMW, it's BMW's experience arm. So we've got tours all over the world with Motorrad tours, we've got rider training, we do everything from your license to advanced rider training, and then as we've got Jenny whizzing around in the background, we've got the off-road skills course as well, which is all about how to ride the big adventure bikes.
Right.
Absolutely anywhere in the world.
Nice one. Okay. Well, Jenny's promised me it's not going to come too close at any high speed, but no, it's great, isn't it? Big crowd here as well. How do people get involved then, Chris? If you want to be more involved in the world of BMW, what do you actually do to go about doing that?
So yeah, one of the great things we've got this year is we've got interactive demos in between the live shows. You can come in, you can have a go at some of the bike handling skills, and all of the guys from tour leaders through to the instructors and the trainers are all on hand to talk to you about the things you can learn, the places you can go.
And you're here for the whole show, aren't you? So that's quite a lot of standing up for, what, 10 days or whatever it is?
10 days inside a big shed talking about motorbikes. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, does it really? Which models are here actually, Chris? Because I've noticed there's obviously the one going around at the moment, but there's a few here, aren't there?
Yeah, so we're using the 1250 GS, which is the sort of bread and butter of our stores, but we've also got the F850 GS as well.
Right.
And then the rider training guys have got a rolling road with the G310 GS, so you can have a little go on that as well.
Okay, so that's here as well, is it?
That's here as well, yeah.
Right, okay. And there's obviously live instruction while people are watching, and the fans can actually come in and get involved, can't they?
Exactly that, yeah. So we've had groups in all day through the first day of the show today, and they'll continue for the next couple of weeks, in and out, fiddling with the bikes, and being able to move bikes around that aren't bolted to a stand, so there's nice interactive things.
Yeah, it's nice to actually get up close and personal. Well, there you go, then that was quite close for us there then as well. Plenty going on here at the World of BMW, 20 years since 1999.
Well, look at this. This is the new Honda Fireblade Sp, and isn't it gorgeous? Harv, it looks like a big step forward.
Absolutely amazing, James. Totally new from the ground up.
Now, tell us first, engine. It's got some big horsepower, isn't it?
Big horsepower, 215 brake horsepower, pistons, conrods, everything derived from the RC213.
Titanium rods as well, isn't it?
Titanium conrods.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, the SP has electronic suspension, doesn't it?
Yes, SP, electronic suspension, Öhlins suspensions, yes.
The standard one?
Standard one is a shower suspension and the Nissan brakes. And obviously RRSP, as we're saying, is with your Öhlins and Brembo.
Now you probably find a lot of the super stock guys, serious road guys are going to be using this model, right?
Absolutely, for a base machine for racing there, this is the platform, this is the machine to have.
Now looking around it again, tell us the exhaust system again.
So this machine comes standard, obviously it comes standard with an Acropolis exhaust system, okay? And like I said, when we look at the chassis, look at the aerodynamics, everything all is derived from the RC.
The aerodynamics, big departure. We know how important they are now, but it looks like even the little cutouts.
Look at all the attention to detail down to the mudguard covering the clipped in the disc and everything else. They spent a lot of time, a lot of work. Centre air duct through the chassis headstock.
Well, I'm absolutely loving it. I love it in the tricolours as well. Harvey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
James, how's it going?
All right, not too bad.
Just found this nice, fancy-looking tech stuff. What is it?
Well, it is a steering damper, and this actually you can tell from the black body. This is part of Öhlins Black Line range of steering dampers, which are for like custom heritage machines. Those for people who don't want like a racing damper looking on their bike. They want something a bit more subtle.
All right, so we know what it is. What does it do?
Well, basically, as it says, a steering damper basically goes on the front of your bike, round the steering, and what it does is basically this comes in and out. It's on a piston, and so where you adjust this, adjust it all the other way, it slows down the oil. It's full of oil, and it makes it then really stiff. And when it's on a bike, if you hit bumps or you wheelies, instead of it shaking its head like that, you know, you can slow it right down and get rid of that. You can stop weaving, and it's just a really important thing on the road and the bike.
I was going to say, don't drop it, will you?
Well, I've had enough of doing your job. I've got work to do.
All right. Well, if he's got work to do, let's find out what he's doing, shall we?
One of my favourite bikes on the KTM stand is the Super Tune 1290R. Just look at it, so aggressive. Tell us a bit about some of the, the mods that you've done there.
Well, there's two big stories here. One's power, so we're up to 180 brake horsepower, which is pretty impressive in these restrictive times. And the other big story is weight, so we're 6 kilos down from before.
Nice.
So that is really impressive to get down to that weight. We've uprated things like the electronics, so we've got a Bosch 6D system there, so lots and lots of refinement, lots of control for that 180 brake horsepower. And then we've done lots of geometry things, so there's a new linkage on the rear suspension. So we've unturned every stone just to try and get as much performance out of this as we can.
I must admit, it looks gorgeous. I love the single-sided swinging arm, the new aggressive styling, and it just looks 180 brake horsepower. It looks like such a hooligan machine. Actually, can't wait to ride one by myself. Simon, thank you so much.
Well, here at Kawasaki, this is the stunning-looking ZH2. It's available in 3 different colours. But Craig, am I right in thinking that Kawasaki are the only manufacturer to have a supercharged family, as it were?
It is, yeah. I mean, we came to the supercharged party, if you like, at the end of 14 with a 15 model year bike, which was the Ninja H2. So that was a single-seater, and to be fair, it was kind of like a flag-waving exercise to say, look what Kawasaki's capable of when we harnessed all of the engineering prowess, if you like, of everybody back at the factory, from aerospace, from gas turbine, and the motorcycle division. And over that last 5 years, we've gone from the pure single-seater. So last year, you remember we launched the Ninja H2 Essex. Well, this is the naked version, the ZH2.
Stunning looking thing. Now this thing, is it not 200 horsepower, this? But so surely you've got to be a bit of a lunatic to ride this, have you not?
Well, it's funny. On paper, you look at it and you go, yeah, 200 horsepower. You'd need to be, A, a little bit crazy, B, extremely experienced. But you know what? We were lucky to ride this back in September. And if you ride it normally, if you like.
What's normally?
If you ride it normally, it's actually really, really easy to ride. Right. Everyday use would be fine, commuting, etc. However, if you twist that in second or third gear, wow, yeah, it comes alive.
But good fun though, and you feel under control and you enjoyed it, obviously.
Oh, we tested it on track, and you can't help but giggle. Any of the supercharged bikes, the key to it is the throttle noise on open and close, and it's very, very addictive.
And does it just goad you? Is it a different feeling to the other bikes, as it were?
Yeah, a normal bike, you need to get it on song. This comes alive at 5, 6, 7,000 revs.
Right, there you go then, the Kawasaki ZX2 new look bike for 2020.
Kevin, another year, here we are. What have we got going on?
Right, James, what we're trying to do here is recreate what we're seeing up and down the UK in loads and loads of places where we're actually dealing with what looks to be like legitimate companies, but they are actually illegal bike breakers. So they're basically targeting our cherished machines and breaking them down into parts. We're seeing around anywhere between 22, 23,000 bikes a year stolen at the moment. That's come down, but unfortunately we're seeing about almost 3/4 of those are being stripped into parts. And if you look behind you, we've created this matrix where basically we've gone online and we've looked at all of the most popular bikes that are stolen, and we've just looked up the prices of what frames and tanks and ECU units are basically going for. And you can see probably it's maybe about your bike's worth almost twice as much in parts. So how would you know that that's your fork or that's your front wheel?
So you can see a really good point there. You know, breaking them down, shipping them down, and without your date card marks, they wouldn't know. But
absolutely,
thankfully, because of it, they will. So
yes.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
All right, thank you.
Okay, hold your breath for a high-speed tour of the Suzuki stand. Talk us through it, Ian.
Well, Greg, welcome. This is the new V-Strom 1050, which we're just launching here in the UK first time today. It's an all-new updated bike for us.
Okay.
We've got Euro 5 compliance, we've got 7% more power, we've got a host of new features and colours.
Okay.
We've got a second version over here, which is the V-Strom 1050 XT. This bike's got Suzuki's new intelligent ride system, so ride-by-wire, electronics, 6-way IMU, so we've got cornering ABS, we've got hill hold control, we've got cruise control, we've got a full set of accessories, and we've got this wonderful paint scheme that really ties into Suzuki's motocross heritage.
So does that by any chance date back to 1988?
Yes, back to 1988 with the original DR Big. So you can see the colour scheme harking back to that, but not just there. Actually, we also had an orange and white scheme with the original DR 750, and we've replicated that also on the 1050 here. So a great styling, performance, and accessories, great range and great value for the customers.
And here, the actual bike that won the British Grand Prix this year.
Absolutely. Alex Rins ran at Silverstone on this one in August.
Beating Marquez.
And here's Richard Cooper's championship-winning British Superstock bike, GSXR, fantastic bike, and the iconic Suzuki Katana, dating back to the original from 1981. So plenty to see at the Suzuki stand.
Ian, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, I'm back on the Triumph stand, and we're looking at the Street Triple RS. And Devon, tell us about this upgrade.
Yeah, so super excited about this bike. Everything we love about the existing bike, but just more. More power, more torque in the mid-range. So the mid-range from the Street Triple R really combined with the top end of the RS in one package.
Best of both worlds.
It's awesome, exactly. Other than that, big news on this is the headlights and the restyle. We've gone from front to back on the bike. New bodywork touches, really sharpened it up. In addition, we've got the TFT second generation dash. Much better graphics, but also it's got the Bluetooth connectivity, so you can get turn-by-turn navigation and use all your cool functionality as well.
And it's also, I mean, is it a lighter bike, this motorcycle?
So 2 kilos lighter than the existing bike, which is 166 kilos, which makes it the lightest bike in its class.
That is fantastic, and I must admit, I really like it. It's still got that Triumph look about it, but the upgraded with the LED.
Yeah,
that's absolutely brilliant.
It's cool.
Devon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Now we're going to take a quick break now, but afterwards we'll be coming back for more. Welcome back to Motorcycle Live. Now we're going to have a little look around at the rest of the show. Well, look at this. I'm on the new Africa Twin, and we're testing the DCT, the dual clutch transmission. And remember, this is an automated box, not an automatic box, so you can still use it as a manual just with your hand. So no clutch lever, no gear lever. But we're going to start off in an auto mode. So I'm in first, look at this. Second, it's going up through the box. Look at that. There you go, up to 5th gear, and then listen here, you hear it changing down on the box there, all automatic. So let's do that again. Then again, so that's one way you can ride it when you're pottering around town. But the other way, that a lot of people are going to ride it, and people like myself, is with the hand manual. So then, if I put it into sport mode here, and then you get something first, second, third, fourth, and then down, you go down the box again, and you can see a really little good system here, and it's going to be a lot of fun working it out. And if it's good enough for Dave Thorpe, it's good enough for me. Welcome back to Triumph. I'm sat on the Thruxton RS. Devon, tell us, how's the model evolved?
Yeah, so we launched the original back in 2016.
Yeah, remember, well, classic.
Everybody loved it, and now's the time to just lift it a bit. So we've brought more power into the bike, 8 more PS than the Thruxton R. We've also taken 6 kilos of weight out of the bike. Again, a lot of that's come out the engine with the low inertia crank. Those two things together make it handle really well and just give it a little bit more pep. And then
looks like updated front brakes.
Yeah, that's right. So it's got the Bmw M50s, and then in addition to that, we've given it a restyle, so blacked out components, black rims, and yeah, just freshened it up with some contemporary paint. So this one's the black one. We've got the silver ice one as well, which is a really contemporary paint scheme.
I'm really impressed you've managed to take out weight out of pretty much all your models and give them power, so it's an encouraging lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big focus for us, and we're really excited.
Great. Devon, thanks very much.
Well, I don't know where to start with this one here at BMW. It's like a BMW Transformer look. What are we actually looking at? It's outrageous.
Unfortunately, this one's not actually for sale. This is a concept bike, and this is the result. Out the window. Unfortunately, yeah. This is the result of BMW asking themselves, if we were to move into electric motorcycles, what would it look like? So this is the Vision DC Roadster concept, and as you can see, it looks incredible.
I mean, it's got what we got. We've got cooling fins protruding from each side. These almost look like a Spirit level. I know it's not, but I mean, what is all this stuff?
Well, this is all functional, but at the same time, it's designed to keep in line with BMW's ethos and to remain an authentic BMW motorcycle. So the first thing that you notice with these cooling fins, and these are very functional. When you turn the bike on, they actually move out to show that the bike is on,
So
it's
they
ready
actually
to go.
So it is like a transformer.
Absolutely, and they do stuff. But also, as you know, anyone who's ridden a boxer engine bike before will think that looks really similar, and that's on purpose. You know, it's designed to look like a boxer engine with these protruding fins, but ultimately they are very functional and they keep the engine or the electric motor completely cool.
Right.
So, and then you've got all these other design features, like you've got the dash integrated in the centre of the motorcycle here. You know, you've never seen reservoirs like that before, right? You know, usually they're upright and they're little small, fairly ugly things, but you know, these just look amazing, and it's symbolic of where BMW wants to move into the future, alternative drive forms, and it showcases essentially what we're capable of.
Stupid question, I guess, but I guess the seats, when they become something real, will be a bit softer than that.
I'm hoping it has something a bit more comfortable than that. But you know, ultimately this is a concept and it's designed to show what we're capable of and be as cool as possible, because you know, you want to draw people's attention to it and you want people to get excited by it, and hopefully that's what this bike does.
Wow, absolutely unbelievable. A real look into the future then down here at BMW. Thanks, Luke.
Well, this is a brand new model. It is the KTM 390 Adventure. Unusual, a small capacity adventure bike. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's a really exciting adventure for us to go into the adventure world at such a small capacity. So it's the engine from the Duke, and we've adapted the chassis to make it capable for genuine off-road riding. But it's not just that. There are other elements to it as well, such as the tyres. We're talking about Continental TKC70, so it's a proper decent tyre to go off-road on. When you factor in the weight, at 158 kilos, it's going to be really agile off-road, and it should appeal to a lot of those that are interested in that life.
Now, do you think this is just going to be for A2 licence holders, or do you also think it will be for smaller adventure riders, you know, people looking for something different?
What we're expecting is a lot of people maybe crossing over from Enduro, our free ride product, coming onto this product and really get to see what it can do both on the street and on the trails as well.
Brilliant. Simon, thank you so much.
Well, I'm sure it said Birmingham on the road sign on the way here, Craig. What's that all about?
We're actually running a competition where customers can come here, come to the show, step inside our booth and record their entry for a competition we're running to go to Las Vegas to ride the ZH2.
Wow, okay, actually in Las Vegas itself, okay, exciting stuff. Now, it's not this warm really, but obviously this isn't a weather forecast, Craig. What's this all about?
This is just showing how far we've come since we launched Kawasaki Rider Training Services.
Which we saw last year.
That's right. So now we've got 35 schools mapped around the UK, and the idea with Kawasaki Rider Training Services is come and learn with the best, if you like.
Yeah.
Brand new motorcycles, a lovely fleet of bikes, nice, dry, clean clothing with the best instructors that we can find.
Right, okay, so there's plenty to look forward to at Kawasaki then, whether you're here in the UK in the many locations or perhaps even in Las Vegas, Craig. And here on the other side of the Kawasaki stand, we've got the Z900. Dean, good to see you. It seems like there's a load of new things on it this year.
Yeah, we've basically just given it a whole toolbox of gadgets, that's the easy way. So what we've managed to do this year on the new 2020 model is have the new TFT colour dash.
Right.
So what that comes with, is the same with some of the other models, is the Rideology app for starters.
Okay.
So our customers can download the app and they can change some settings on the bike, power modes, rider modes. The bike's got traction control this year, which is fantastic, all new LED lighting. But fundamentally, it's still the best all-round naked bike, I believe, in our model range. The updates with the TFT dash and LED lighting is also the same updates we've got to the 650s. It's a Z650, Ninja 650, bit of styling updates, but they've also got that top quality dash and LED lighting throughout them.
Well, I like that, Dean, with the app then. So if the weather changes and you're sat in a coffee shop or something, you can change your bike and get it updated for the rain.
Absolutely.
Very nice, and that's obviously quite necessary in this country.
Now, Tony, the motorcycle industry has been doing a lot to combat crime these last few years. Can you explain a bit about that, please?
Well, 5-6 years ago, we launched Master Scheme, which was basically the data tag forensic marking. We've now extended that to MCIA Secured. MCIA Secured is a security, sort of a layered security rating initiative, which, working with the manufacturers, we're recognising what security is fitted as standard.
You want people to look at that and almost like they'd say, have I got traction control, have I got this electronics package? It would be, how many star security system have I got?
Yeah, we want it to influence people's choice of what bikes they're buying. And more importantly, it needs to be something that they're going to ask about as much as they ask about the other things that you've mentioned. Yeah.
And this is also going to help insurance, isn't it? And it should really help the problem with crime.
It will do. We're in discussions with the insurance world at the moment to get the programme recognised. They have they've shown commitment, they'll do that. But at the moment, we want to encourage manufacturers up this ladder to make sure they're offering the customer everything that's possible.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much.
Well, back down here at R&T, we discussed a big number earlier on, 20 years of the company. And Alan, a big announcement now as well.
Yeah, very pleased to confirm and announce that we've done a new deal with an insurance partner, which covers Swinton, Carroll Nash and Mackenzie Hodgson. Right. Everybody's got to buy insurance. Everybody needs to have R&G on the bike, so let's combine the two together. You're going to be able to take out insurance, put any R&G accessory on your bike without rating, so no modification needed to be declared, but also you can be in a situation where you get 10% off for fitting certain accessories to your bike. So absolutely tremendous to be involved with such good partners in the insurance market.
Now this is the Bobber TFC, the Triumph Factory Custom, and it is really trick. It's been limited to how many?
So 750 globally.
Yep.
This is the third TFC in our TFC lineup, following the Rocket TFC and the Thruxton TFC. There'll be about 100 of these in the UK, so a really exclusive bike. It's got lots and lots of exclusive components, combination of carbon bodywork, real nice details. And we've taken the spec up on this bike as well.
Yeah, nice. So, I mean, Öhlins forks, Brembo brakes, Arrow exhaust, I mean, that beautiful billet headstock as well.
Absolutely. It's a nice place to be when you're sat astride it. And it's not just a look. Again, it's got 10 PS more, it's 5 kilos lighter, so all of our TFC bikes carrying a bit more power, and where we can, take a bit of weight out the bike as well.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, thanks to everyone. Well, the future's certainly bright here at Triumph. But right now, I'm going to leave these boys and go and have a little look at what's happening at CCM. Well, some of you might recognise this man. It is, of course, Carl Fogarty. We're on the CCM stand where he's an ambassador, and we're looking at one of the models in the CCM range that's obviously connected to Carl. Carl, tell us about it.
Oh yeah, mate, good. Yeah, it's the Foggy flat track version. We launched the two bikes last year, only 300. Came out in red last year, the more cafe racer one. With this one, this year, we just put a different pack. We're just trying to show people what you can have on the bike, really. Whatever, if you want to buy a bike, you're buying it direct from the factory. So you can pick and choose, even come along and see your bike being built. You know what I mean? So if you don't like a red, yeah, exactly. We can do that for you. If you don't want a red bike, you want gold wheels, you want black wheels. And this is what we call a stealth package. Different anodized bits on it, different seats, different brakes, and yeah, it's come out really well. That smoky kind of gold in the black, it's beautiful. So yeah, it's beautiful.
No, I really like it. You've given it the proper test?
Yeah, been out playing on it a few times. Yeah, hurt it myself as usual.
Nice. Well, Carl, thank you so much. Good to see you. Well, it's been a great show here, hasn't it? Have you enjoyed it?
I have, James. It's been good. It's always nice to come to the NEC and see the new models and get a feeling for 2020.
It has indeed. And thank you so much for watching at home. We hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to tune in next year.